and welcome back to my channel. Today's class is all about moving to get out of your head. So sometimes we get stuck in this space up here, rattling around with thoughts, and we end up spiraling and spiraling and spiraling deeper into these thoughts. Today's class, I just want you to focus on moving your body and feeling beautiful with the movements. It's one of my favorite things about the yoga practice is really just feeling what it's like to be in this body and out of this head. Okay, so we're going to get started right away. Come to stand at the top of your mat. Grab 2 blocks if you want. You can use books at home if you don't have blocks. At the front of the mat, go ahead and inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, lift halfway, pull the heart forward, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into the feet, roll yourself up to stand, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lift, flat back. As you exhale, come onto the toes, bend the knees, curl into a little ball. Straighten the legs, fold forward. Press into the feet, roll all the way up to stand. Come all the way up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, heels release and you fold forward over the legs. Halfway lift. Heels lift, knees bend, you curl. Heels down, straight legs and fold. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Come all the way up onto the toes. Exhale, heels down as you start to fold forward over your legs. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift. Toes. Bend the knees. Straight legs and fold. Lovely. Inhale, find that flat back, lift halfway. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, bring the left hand down, straighten that left leg, toes flex, right knee bends. Bend into the left knee, straighten the right leg, left arm lifts. Left hand down, straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, pull the left toes back. One more time, bend that left knee, left arm lifts. And exhale, hand down, bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. Bend that left knee. Extend the left leg all the way up and back behind you, 3-legged dog. Now take that left knee, bend it, pull the left heel in towards the right hip. Straighten the leg. Bend the knee in towards the nose. Lift it up, straighten the leg, stack the hip, then bend the knee. Leg straightens, then the hip squares, knee to nose. Leg extends straight. You stack the hip, then you bend the knee one more time. Straighten the leg, square the hip, knee to nose. Beautiful. Extend that leg up and back. And then bring that left foot down to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Take the heels over to the right. Bend that right knee. Look under the left shoulder and press the outside edge of the left foot into the mat. And come back to center. Twist over to the right, that right knee bends. And center. 2 more times. Lift, bend, press through the outside edge of that left foot. And center. Last time. Heels lift, shift over to the right, bend the right knee. And come back to center. Lovely. Inhale, look forward to the front of the mat. You can tippy toe your feet, or if you're ready, come up onto the balls of your feet. Look past your hands. Bring yourself forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Come onto the toes, bend the knees, curl into that little ball. Straighten the legs and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Arms reach overhead. Exhale and fold back down. This time as you inhale, lift halfway. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up and twist. Exhale, right hand comes down. Bend the left knee as you extend the right leg straight and pull the right toes back. Bend back into the right knee, left leg straight, right arm lifts. And hand down, straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. Bend into the right knee, open up. Right hand down, shift back. And bend into that right knee, straighten the left leg. Right leg extends all the way back. Three-legged dog, then you stack the hips first. Bend the right knee, pull the right heel in towards the glute. Straighten the right leg, then you'll square the hips. And then you pull that right knee in towards the nose. Extend the leg straight up and back. Then stack the hips, right toes turn to the right. Then you bend the knee, pull the heel in. Last time, straight leg, squared hips, knee comes into nose. Extend the leg up and back. And then right foot comes down to meet the left in your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Lift the heels. You're going to spin those heels over to the left. Your left knee bends as the outside edge of that right foot presses into the mat. Feel the stretch through the right side body. And then back to center. Heels lift. And we swivel over to the left. Left knee bends. Press through the outside edge of that right foot. And center. Beautiful. 2 more times. Using your breath. Syncing those movements with your breath. Feeling the breath move through you. Driving your movement. Lovely. Come back to center. And from here, we'll go ahead and lower the knees down. So we'll come through a few rounds of cat and cow. I've really been liking to shift forward and backward as I move through my cat-cow. You do what works for you. Again, this is all about feeling into your body. So if you'd like, you can make circles. If for you, just a traditional cat and cow is what your body needs, go for it. We're going to round the back up towards the ceiling. For my version, I'll pull my chest forward so my shoulders come past my elbows. Then I'll drop my belly, pull my chest through the shoulders as I pull the hips back towards my heels. And then rounding up. Find what works for you. Very nice. So we'll build on to that sequence. I'm not a huge fan of ladder flows, so we won't get super repetitive with it. But I want you to find some comfortability with these movements so that you don't have to think so much about where you're moving, but how you're moving. How you can adapt these movements to feel into every corner of your own body and feel like the best, most beautiful version of you. All right, come back to center. Go ahead and lift the knees and make your way forward towards the front of the mat, whether that's a step, a jump, or a tippy toe. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees into the chest, sink the hips. Straighten the legs, fold forward. Inhale, lift all the way up. Arms reach up. And as you exhale, you'll fold over the legs. Inhale, flat back, lift halfway. Go ahead and step that right foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, lift the left arm up and twist. Exhale, left hand comes down. Right knee bends as your hips shift back and that left leg extends. Bend into that left knee. Spin the right heel down. Come all the way up, warrior 2. Inhale, reach that right arm behind you. Left arm reaches overhead. Exhale, left hand to your heart as you bow and reach the right arm forward. All the way up, reverse it. And exhale, bow and reach. And one more time, reach it back. Peaceful warrior. Bow and reach. Circle the hands down. Extend the left leg back behind you. Stack the hips first, bend the knee, pull the heel in towards the right glute. Extend the leg, square the hips, left knee to nose. Left foot comes down, come onto the toes of the feet. Heels come over to the right as the right knee bends. And come back to center. Very nice. Look forward, make your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway once you get there. Lift the heels, bend the knees, sink into a little ball. Straighten the legs, lift the hips and fold. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold back down. Inhale, lift halfway. This time you'll step the left foot back. Immediately lift that right arm up and twist. Very nice. Right hand down, bend the left knee, right leg extends. Bend back in. Spin the left heel down and we'll come all the way up, warrior two. Left hand extends behind you, right arm reaches overhead. When you come back, bring the right hand to the heart as your left hand reaches over. Up, back, and reach. And back, reaching the opposite arm. One more time. Close your eyes. Hands down, right leg lifts. Hips stack first, toes turn towards the right, then the knee bends, heel in towards the glute. Right leg extends, knee to nose. Right foot down. Immediately lift the heels, spin them over to the left, left knee bends. And come back to center. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the front of the mat. Lift halfway flat back. Lift the heels, bend the knees, curl into a little ball. Straighten the legs and fold. Give yourself a moment here. You can bring the feet a little bit wider. Clasp opposite elbows or bring the hands to the base of the skull. Let yourself shift side to side. Come back to the breath. Maybe you feel a slight buzzing feeling in the body. Be with that. We'll do a little bit more of this fast-paced movement, and then we'll use it to make these beautiful still shapes. Inhale, lift halfway. Come onto the toes, bend the knees in, sink the hips, and straighten the legs, fold forward. Press into the feet, come up, lift the arms up, and fold forward over the legs. Right leg steps back, lift the left arm and twist. Left hand circles down, straighten the left leg, bend the right knee. Bend back into the left knee, right heel down, warrior two. Reach back in reverse. Reach forward, side angle, without support from that left arm. Up and back this time, straighten the left leg, reverse triangle. Reach the left arm forward, like you were trying to reach towards the front of the room, past your mat. Unsupported triangle, right arm lifts. Beautiful. Come all the way up, warrior two. And then exhale, spin the arms down. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Stack the hips, bend the left knee, left heel towards the hip. Leg extends, knee to nose. Left foot down next to the right. Heels lift, right knee bends, press to the outside edge of the left foot. And back to center. Look forward towards the front of the mat. Bring the feet forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Press into the feet. Come all the way up to stand. Reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Lift halfway. This time your left foot steps back. Immediately lift that right arm up and twist. Right arm circles down. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Bend back. Open it up. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Unsupported side angle, right hand to heart, left arm reaches forward. Straighten the right leg as you extend back, reverse triangle. And then reach that right arm forward, past the front of your mat. Deep breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Hands down to the mat. Right leg lifts. Stack the hip, then bend the knee. Straighten the leg, square the hip, knee to nose. And right foot meets the left. Lift the heels, spin the heels over to the left. Bend that left knee, press through the outside edge of the right foot. And come back to center. Beautiful. So you should be feeling really warm right now. Hopefully you're feeling out of your head. All right. Lift that right leg up behind you. Bring your right knee in towards the front of the mat. Spin the left heel down. Come up into your warrior two. Beautiful. So we're going to come into a couple of variations with these warrior two feet. First, we're going to get into those hips, and then we're going to open up into, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like a camel-y back bend side angle. It feels really good, and that's what we're looking for today, right? So bring both hands down to the inside of that right foot, and you're going to walk the hands at about a 45-degree angle from the hips. So from the hips to your fingertips, you're in downward facing dog. Your feet remain in warrior two and strong. Keep pressing that right knee over to the right here. Really nice. Keep walking the hands around to the left, parallel both feet, and fold forward between the legs. So if you have tight hamstrings, it's actually going to be easier for you to bring the feet wider. If your head easily touches the ground, try bringing your feet a little bit closer so that you can really get into the backs of those legs. Really nice. And then inhale, find a flat back lift halfway. Maybe heel toe those feet a little bit wider and turn the toes slightly out. You'll start to bend into that left knee, hips sink low, right toes lift up towards the sky, Skandasana. So you can bring the hands to the mat, or you can bring them to your heart, whatever feels better to you. If you'd like, you can support yourself. We're going to shift over to the right leg this time, so you can lift the hips, stay low, shift. Very nice. We're going to hold it here, no more shifting. Beautiful. Now hands come down, lift the hips. You're going to plant the outside edge of that left foot. Right toes will turn to the front again. So find your warrior two legs, right? Here's where it might be nice to have a block or just something to prop your hand on. A chair works just fine. You're going to start to walk your hands behind you. Okay? So think of bringing that right hand back where the right hip is, and then you're going to reach that left arm up behind you. So it's kind of like your stargazer pose, but with your warrior two legs instead of your knees on the mat. And breathe here. Very nice. And bring the hands back around towards the front of the mat. Come onto the toes of that left foot. You're going to spin to the outside edge of your left foot. Get strong in that left hand. Right leg extends up. Right arm lifts. Vashisthasana with a lifted right leg. You can stay here, or you can bend that right knee and start to drop it behind you, coming into your wild thing, opening up. And bring the right hand down. Come back to your downward facing dog. And do whatever you need to shake that out. That felt really good in my body. I hope it felt good in your body. And then lift the left leg up. Bring that left foot forward to the front of the mat. I'm going to rotate so my back isn't to you for this long hold. Right heel comes down. You're going to come into your warrior two. Beautiful. And we'll find those same variations on this side. As we move forward, please note that both sides of your body are completely different. So you might have a really different experience on this side. That's fine. Modify as you need to. We're going to bring both hands down and then walk them at a 45-degree angle from those hips. Chest releases down, so legs are in warrior two. Arms, chest, hips are reaching toward the downward facing dog. And sometimes we get really stuck in these sort of traditional variations of these poses, right? What it's supposed to look like. And we get so focused on that alignment instead of how it feels. Walk the hands towards the center of the mat, parallel the feet, and fold forward. And alignment's really important to keep us safe, but there's a level of intuition we should have in our practice where we know our body and we trust this natural ability of our body to keep us safe, to trust in these intuitive movements, to find these variations of these shapes just because they feel good for no other reason. Start to turn the toes slightly out. Bend into that right knee. Flex the left foot. Right? So our practice should keep us safe, make us stronger. It can even heal our bodies, but at the end of the day, we want it to feel good too. So don't be scared of these playful variations, playing around with like, ooh, what if I put my hand here or turn my toes this way or put my arm in a different position, because at the end of the day, this is your time. And so you can do whatever you want with this time. Start to lift, bend into the left knee, straighten the right leg. There aren't really rules, right? There's just keeping yourself safe. And after you know those rules of how to keep yourself safe, at this point in your practice, you can start to break the rules and really experiment with like what makes your practice fun. Start to lift the hips, plant the heel of that right, or the outside edge of that right foot, left toes turn forward. Again, you might want to block here. We're coming into that weird stargazer variation of side angle. So walk your block around. That left hip comes, left hand, comes behind that left hip. And then you're going to reach back and open up. And I think everybody looks really beautiful in this pose because it's just a complete opening and surrender. So feel that beauty in your body as you open up through the hips and chest. Let your head hang. And breathe. Really nice. And start to make your way back around. Very good. And we'll step back into your downward facing dog. It should feel really nice. And then you'll lift that right leg up. Bring the right knee behind the right wrist. We're coming into our pigeon pose. So we don't live in an ideal world, right? Ideally, your shin is parallel to the front of your mat. Realistically, you're probably more at like a 45-degree angle with the heel rather close to the pubic bone. Touch your fingers out to the side. If this is too much on your lower back, please don't do it if you feel any pinching. But if you can, touch the fingers and lift up, roll the shoulders back. Find a little bit of a back bend here. Maybe you sway from side to side. And feel your body. Nice. And when you're ready, you can start to bring those movements forward. And maybe you come all the way down, or maybe you find a spot where it feels a little sticky and you just want to play there. For me, that's about right here today. I had a pretty difficult bike ride, so my hips are a little crankier than normal today. Beautiful. If you're all the way down, start to lift yourself back up. Tuck the toes of the left foot, scoot that knee in a bit. And you're going to step the right foot about a third of the way back on your mat. Pull both hips back so both legs are relatively straight. Another great space for a block underneath that left hand. You're going to reach that right arm up and twist. So I know for me this pose is kind of a challenge because of some of the other physical activities that I take part in. The outside of my right leg, this IT band, gets really tight really fast. So if this is a pose you struggle in as well, try to find some beauty and softness here though, right? Maybe you play with that arm and you let it just flow around, or you release the head. Find some space to feel beautiful here, even in this intensity. Really nice. Bring both hands down. You're going to lower your left knee to the mat. Your front foot, your right foot, will extend back behind you. Once again, right toes are going to turn over to the right. The hips stack, and you'll reach that right arm up. Now, the more you turn these left toes behind you, the less you'll have to work to balance here. So if you want to challenge your balance, you'll bring that shin parallel to the long edge of your mat. If you don't, turn them back behind you. And if you want a little bit more, you can bend that right knee, reach around for that right foot, press the hips forward, roll the shoulder back. Beautiful. Gently release. Bring the hand, bring the knee down, tuck the toes, lift your hips downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up behind you. Bring that left knee behind the left wrist. Coming into that pigeon pose again, hips sink down. So if it feels good for your low back on this side, we're once again going to tent the fingers here. Both sides of the body are different, right? This hip is way tighter for me, so my lift is not nearly where it was on the other side. And that's okay. Do what you need to do on this side, and maybe you bring some of that swaying motion into the pose. Maybe you fold forward. Maybe you do something completely different. Again, whatever feels good for you today. Really nice. And then when you're ready, you'll start to walk those hands forward a little bit more if you want, searching for your sticky place. And if you're folded all the way down, you'll start to walk the hands back in towards you. You'll tuck the toes of that right foot, lift the knee, and then step that left foot about a third of the way back on the mat. Hips pull back, both legs are relatively straight, and both feet are planted. That right hand can come to a block if you'd like. We're going to lift that left arm up and twist. And again, you'll find that thing that helps you feel beauty in this pose and not just a struggle to open through that IT band. Very good. A couple more breaths. And then you'll bring both hands down. That right knee will come down to the mat this time. You extend that left leg back behind you. Left toes will turn to the left. Again, remember, if you need more of a kickstand, turn those right toes back behind you. Left arm reaches up. And you stay here, or you bend that left knee, reach for the ankle or foot, press the hips forward, roll the shoulder back, and feel into that back bend. And release. Bring the hands down. Bring the knee down. Sit your hips back. Come into a child's pose. Knees can be together, or you can bring the knees wide. I invite you for this child's pose to turn your palms to face up. So you can release through the shoulders. Bring the head down. Then breathe. And start to walk the hands in towards the knees. You'll roll over onto one hip and bring your legs out in front of you. So we didn't do too much stretching in the back of the leg today. It was more of a fast-paced hamstring warm-up. And we're also, here our focus is not going to be our hamstrings. We're actually looking to find some decompression through the spine to help us really sink into our Shavasana. So, there's a difference between rounding through the back and slouching, correct? So, I don't want you to be here. We are gonna round through the back in our fold, which is not traditionally you want to go forward with a flat back. But we're not doing this, right? It's not bad posture day, okay? We still want to start by lifting up, flat back. Then we pull our heart forward until we feel that like in the back of the hamstrings. And then you stop when you've reached that point where you feel that gentle tugging, right, through the back of the legs. And then you keep pulling the shoulders forward as you round, okay? So again, we're not doing this. We're pulling forward. It's like we're making a letter P, right, with the body. Imagine trying to pull your shoulders all the way down towards your knees, or if you have a longer torso, maybe it's more towards your shins, right? And then let the head hang. Bring the arms back by your hips and let them flare out to the side. And so I'm really feeling this through my neck and shoulders. But you may feel it in the back of the legs, but our focus is much more through this back line of the body, right? From the shoulders to the hips. And start to roll up. You can keep the round in your back because we're just going to lay all the way down on ours. Okay. Beautiful. Pull the knees into the chest. So if you have a favorite twist variation, take whatever supine spinal twist feels best for you. My favorite is just keeping one knee in. So If you'd like to follow along with me, your left leg will extend, your right knee pulls in. The right arm comes out in line with the shoulder, and then you'll cross the right knee over to the left and twist. You can look over at that right hand, but try to keep that right shoulder down towards the ground, even if that means the right knee lifts. And come back to center. If one leg is extended, go ahead and pull it in. Just hug both knees, rock from side to side. And then your right leg extends. Left arm out in line with the left shoulder as you cross that knee over to the right. Gaze is wherever it's comfortable for your neck. And keep that left shoulder planted on the ground. And you'll make your way back to center. Once again, give yourself one more little squeeze. And then when you're ready, you'll extend the legs to the edges of the mat. Bring your arms by your side or wherever it feels good for you. If the arms are out wide, press into your elbows. Lift your shoulders slightly, hug them together, and then roll back down. Before we release, turn your head from side to side. Releasing through the neck. And then find your stillness. Sink into your Shavasana. And I'm going to guide you through your Shavasana today. We did a lot of movement. And I really want you to enjoy this stillness afterward. Feel the vibration you've created in your body. Feel how you've changed your energy. Enjoy this ability you have to create change through movement. How does your mind feel now? How does your body feel now? How does this openness and this expression of your body affect the clarity of your mind? Follow your breath on a journey as it explores the corners of your body in the Shavasana. Follow your inhale as it sinks down into the bowl of your pelvis, curls around the shoulders, extends to the fingertips and toes. And then follow your exhale as it relaxes through your quadriceps, your belly, your chest, your forehead, your jaw. Keep riding this breath as you release. Take a really deep breath in. An audible, loud exhale out. Ah. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Point your toes towards the bottom of the mat as you reach your arms up overhead. Get long. And then staying long today, just roll over onto one side. And when you feel ready, you'll press yourself all the way up. Coming into a seat. Take the shoulders, roll them up, down and back. Create space through the bottom rib, the top of the pelvis. I thank you so much for taking this time to move with me, to get out of your head, maybe just for this 45 minutes. I hope that you're able to walk through the rest of your day with a little bit more clarity, and remember that your movement practice is always here when you start to feel stuck. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.